Yo, what up? Welcome back to Nat19. There it is. Devils might surrender. You guys had just crawled up the grate that had collapsed and fallen down. And whenever you did, you ended up just in another tunnel, in the various passageways that are below the city. Once again, stretching out before you, there's a general chill in the air, this pervasive, almost antagonistic cold that seems to, no matter where you go, never seems to let out, never seems to change, as if it's, in a sense, following you. What would you like to do during this long rest? We'll say, roll me real quick before you take it. Roll me survival. Alright, so if you guys go through this, as you search around, you look for a place to take a long rest, to take a breather for an hour, and you do eventually come to this, a fairly, relatively large, circular chamber. It looks like just a, you don't know the exact purpose of it. As you've been searching around, you find that, a lot of the things that connect to these sewers look very old, like they might predate the city, and it looks like the sewers and tunnels below the city may have just been built to accommodate them and make use of them. The chamber you find yourself in is one such place. As you move in, you find it's a large circular chamber. Frozen water is on the, there's one large circular platform that is quite large, and on the side of it, there's a large grate that covers an area that you can see there's frozen water underneath. It effectively looks like a large, area for testing water, but the actual construction looks odd and elaborate, but it looks safe. There's nothing in here, and there's only two entrances, the one you came from and the one that goes straight out, and it would be, it's very defendable, this particular area. So you guys are free to take a long rest here. I will ask, is anyone in particular going to keep watch during this rest?
Take it in while you can. It's maybe the only warmth we can find for a while.
You know, I didn't expect any of that.
No. Is that anything like your nightmares?
Yeah, it has some similarities. The things you saw on the monitors, such as the various demons prowling the streets and the apparent blizzard that came out of this massive talon that came out of the ground. Yeah, those are consistent with your nightmares.
Yeah, this is pretty, on the ball. Very similar to what I've seen. Not everything, but, you know, a lot of it. Looking very familiar.
I get that.
You get that?
This one time I had a dream where I was like a cop, and this bad guy was like, I want you to kill me, and so everyone could see you kill me, and I was like, no, I'm not gonna kill you, so I killed his friends instead, and then I was not gonna kill him. He was really mad about that, but then this other guy with a sword, he killed him instead.
That's fucked up.
Wow.
You're a fucked up kid.
That's so neat. Wait, but question, because Arden's dream technically came true, and he technically saw the future. Arden, can you see the future?
Are you
Probably.
psychic?
Probably.
Can you read my palm?
I can read it. I don't know if I would get results.
I hold out a gloved hand.
You know what? I just sort of look at it. Right. It says here that you're gonna live a very fulfilling life.
What does that mean?
It means you're gonna do a lot of the things you want to do.
Cool.
Yeah, you're gonna be very safe. You're gonna be no harm. Well, a little harm is gonna come to you,
Okay.
but you know that's.
You were losing me.
You're already lying to the poor child. Are you not aware of where we are right now? And you're telling him he won't come into harm?
He has a
He'll be
gun. He knows
totally
what
fine.
he's about.
He's got me. He's not gonna come into harm.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's
I-
got his little
Exactly.
brother.
It's
Mhm.
little brother.
Hasn't he already come
Yeah.
to harm?
I mean, he's been.
I'll just be over here.
He's not dead.
Yeah,
Hey,
he's not dead.
He's not gonna die. All right.
Yeah, but Emmanuel, if Arden's dreams came real, what about your dream? Did any of that come real?
I'm not a police officer.
Maybe some. No, but
Act like it.
Maybe someday you will be.
You just have to join the academy, which means you have to go to school.
Exactly.
I don't know if I
No,
want to be a police officer.
but you have glasses. You have glasses. That means you're smart, right?
Yeah,
God.
yeah. I have a big brain.
Can I try them on?
Take off my glasses and the Fiona.
I'll put them on my face and look at Arden.
Do I look smart?
Their eyes are magnified when you look at them, and because their eyes are already a emerald-like texture that is a solid green, the lenses of the glasses to you basically just very large, blown-out green circles.
You look blurry.
You
I
look.
can't see shit.
Like the smartest person I've ever seen.
You look very collected.
Thank you, and thank you, Gino. Yeah,
Yeah, that's that. You can call me that.
just making sure I had your name right.
And I'll take my glasses off, and I'll take the glasses off and put them back on Emmanuel's face.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Can you see better now?
Yeah.
I couldn't see anything with them on.
Did you feel smarter?
I think so.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe I need glasses. I don't know.
Yeah. You might need glasses.
More people need glasses than you'd expect.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've ever seen any other demons with glasses, but I don't know.
You'd look so cool with glasses, Gina.
Oh, Gino.
Do you really think so?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I should try it sometime.
I'm gonna try and put my glasses on Gina.
How do I look?
You look so smart.
What even are your eyes?
That feels rude.
They're in this area. I'm just gonna gesture to the helmet.
You've got like a couple of like eye holes or something in your helmet, right? You like which one do you see out of?
But he's also got those little those golden things that go across his face.
Yes.
Do you put it up there or do you put it down there?
That's where the glasses rest.
My God.
But they could be either one. There's two. He's got one up here. He's got a row. Okay, this one's a little lower. Never mind.
Yes.
I mean, but wouldn't he also just wear them inside of the helmet?
I don't know if there is an inside of the helmet.
Why wouldn't there be anything inside of the? Wait,
I checked and I couldn't see anything in there.
What do you mean?
what do you mean?
Have you seen the 2000 hit box office smash kaboom Hollow Man?
No.
Oh, I love that one.
It's really,
A
it's
what?
actually, I probably shouldn't have been allowed to watch that, but it's maybe he's like that.
Yeah. He like motions to like grabs like the golden horns and just kind of lifts up. It's like, yeah, it don't come off.
Even
Have I
though
ever
on
known
his
anything
body,
like that, Logan?
when he tries to move it, the helmet, there's definitely like material connecting all of the different like pieces, making it so that like there's no, if you were to like look in through the eye holes, you could definitely see that there's nothing in there, but if you were to try to remove like a gauntlet, there's like a fibrous almost sinew between the various plates and whatnot. As he tries to lift the helmet off, you see it stretch against it with an almost muscle-like quality, then when he rests it back down, it returns to being cloth-like underneath.
So then, how do you go about hiding it?
I imagine he just doesn't take his armor off.
Yeah, but you could.
yeah.
Some people would still be able to tell the difference. For example, raises her foot up, or like actually no, raises her hand up, knocks on the armor.
That's what this is for, and I pull out my.
Curiously,
Most people don't really get that close. I can't imagine why people don't get close to me. It's really
Curiously,
weird.
when you tap on the armor, you instinctively expect a more hollow sound, but the vibrations seem to be absorbed by something.
Oh, that way. Never mind. No, I think you've got it covered. Well then, never mind. Maybe there is
Yeah.
a little more to you then.
Hello, man.
Had you seen armor like that before, like the one upstairs? Had you seen other ones like yourself before?
I kind of remember some of them like that, but they might have been a little different. I can't. It's hard to remember.
I get that.
It was a while ago.
Hmm,
Probably.
interesting. Well, I've never seen anyone quite like you before, and it's really, really nice to meet you.
The
Nice
only
to
time
meet
I've
you
seen
too.
armor, it must have been empty.
Everybody roll me a perception. As you guys are talking, Nicolo, mostly because you're on the other side of the room keeping track of one of the entrances, and so to engage in this conversation, you occasionally have to glance back across the room to where they are. One time when you do so, you look over to speak, and your mouth hangs open slightly as you see, not aggressively so, but in the center of this large chamber, you see this very thin, soft bead of blue light seem to fall down like a snowflake, and it lands right in the center of the room. Then a small line of light begins to trace itself slightly up, and from it, very gently, I can't stress enough how not aggressive this happens,
I shoot it. I'm kidding.
these blue cracks form from where it lands and expand outwards in the center of this large platform that you're on, with blue light coming up very lightly through the cracks until there's about a 2-foot radius where there's just this web pattern of cracks surrounding this small beam of light that is no more than like a foot high, sitting in the center of the room.
I will have made my way back over toward it, looking to it, not really trying to interrupt them, but I'm sure they would see large, muscular man no shirt, making it. I'm kidding. I have a shirt on. Large muscular man making his way over toward the area. He would lean down and look toward the ice.
As you noting it's not in ice.
Well, it's the cracks and stuff.
Yeah, this particular area is like a stone, cement-ish sort of material.
Oh.
As you go over to it, you see the cracks don't actually seem to be in the stone. They appear to be, they're formed, but it's like they're overlaid on top of it. And you can see down below them, but you can tell that the stone hasn't actually split. It's like they're projecting the image of cracks going down. But as you walk over to it, the center depresses slightly with a very faint and you see a small little crater form where the cracks almost seem to go down into like a slightly more concave shape. And then through them, this mercury-like substance bubbles up, only a very small amount of it, and forms a very small, about 1 foot around puddle that then forms very slowly into a feminine face that is just looking straight up. And then the bluish quality washes over it and seems to make it take on the same quality as the light, and then it just remains there.
There's a face.
You guys, when you look over to him, you can there's light coming up from here, and like any other lights in the area are like emergency power lights, so the light is actually somewhat like, yeah, it's very
I just
noticeable.
imagine they just like are having their conversation. They turn around at the brightest fucking light in the world.
When you look over, the center area is actually kind of in darkness for the most part. It's very dim, but this light is almost a little bit heavenly coming up. It's very not bright. It doesn't even cast light farther around it. You can just see this arcane-looking blue light coming out of the ground with this feminine face just in the ground.
I want to touch it.
Yeah, I
I
want
was
to
actually-
too.
I spread my arms out behind and like around me.
How are you keeping it for yourself?
What even
Don't
is it?
just go touching things.
That's how you find out what things are.
Gino pulls out his halberd and like kind of like inches it towards the thing and like tries to touch it with that, like the point, like not like stab it, but like to kind of poke it.
As you move it close to it and it gets within a couple inches of it, you see the light begins to flicker slightly as you hear words just in the back of your mind that very softly a feminine voice says like, "For the right to true strength simply defeat thy enemy. Within these trials, that which cannot be restored does not exist."
What's wrong? Now you don't want to poke it?
Baby, Gino.
I heard a lady talking to me. It said, like, for the strength, defeat your enemy within these trials. That
Of
which,
course we're going to be
if
defeating
it
our
can't be
enemy.
restored, then it doesn't exist. Yeah, there you go. That was it.
Is this some sort of test?
Objection. What?
Ha!
What'd you say?
You said
As-
something?
He said objection.
Yeah.
Because it's a trial. Ha!
Because we're,
No.
'cause we're a Capcom game.
This guy gets it.
I mean, if you're just gonna say it.
So then now what? Do we
I
touch
would
it or
like-
not?
I'm just gonna walk
Um,
over and touch it.
I'm gonna just poke it.
I'm gonna just like put my hand on it.
Fiona, why don't you stay back?
Too late to have touched it.
As soon as you touch it, your fingertips, as well as the edge of his halberd, they embed slightly in it, and they go into the mercury that is constitutes it, and you find it's not solid. It's being held into a shape, but it's not solid. And as soon as you touch it, it seems to turn into pure light, as well as the cracks expand out immediately and spiderweb their way like they're forming a broken glass pattern to the edges of the area, and up the sides of the walls, up to the dome-like roof above you, and these blue cracks surround everything, glow brightly, and then shatter. And as they do,
Say about touching it!
it's as if the world around you, as if your image of it shatters as well, and leaves you in a room that has the same dimensions and size, but there's a greenish glow illuminating the area. And the first thing you notice about where you are is that the walls, the platform around you, the area below, the grating is all gone at this point, and you see where the ice was. The ice has taken on this sickly green color, and there are tree roots that appear to be covering everything and are clawing up the sides of the platform and growing inwards. You also notice, those of you carrying Devil and Heckin' the stars, the vital and devil stars. You notice they disappear. You feel the weight of them vanish from your persons as they're gone. Marile and Nicolo, you are and Emmanuel, you guys notice that among the various tree roots that cover the area, you feel like you're effectively inside of a large tree at this point, but you can still see the area around you. You start to see some of the bits of the trees around you are shifting, and you see bits of it cracking and breaking off as arm-like and leg-like protrusions erupt from the various large tendril-like roots that surround the area. And I would like everybody to roll initiative. Everybody else, you are going to be surprised in the first round of combat. You three are not. As you guys see, various small humanoid figures made of wood begin to erupt out and crawl their way out of the wooden tendrils and move towards you. You've never seen demons that look quite like these. You can't even be certain that they would be demons, but they seem intent on approaching and attacking you.
Gino's right there. I feel like getting around here so that the one that keeps getting targeted by these things doesn't have a lot of them going at her.
Seeing what's going on, not fully understanding where they came from or what happens, you rush over towards them. As you do, you see its wooden eyes, these sockets in its head, open and then furl at you as if they're angry, and it slowly puts its hands out in a very, like, Wolverine-esque fashion and bears these wooden claws towards you as you rush at it.
Well, time to do the thing I can do, which is hitting things. I'm gonna slice it with my short sword.
That's fair. You hit it.
I'm not sure. Does a 25 hit?
I don't know, man. Twig blades are pretty beefy. Yes.
Well,
you rush towards it, you bring your blade up and you strike it, you draw it along it, and though it's frightening at first, it easily falls into two pieces whenever you strike it. Your blade cuts through it, the top half falls and tries to move for a second as the bottom half then crumbles into individual twigs, and the top half puts an arm up towards you, reaches at you, lets out a and then just becomes motionless and falls to the ground, its arm becoming limp.
Because there's a bit of them, I'm going to give a bardic inspiration, and I'm going to give it to Cheese Puff over here.
Cheese Puff?
Quesito.
Remember, it's Quesito. It's
Make sure to drag the...
Because you're little... It is Quesito, but then I remembered that Quesito, you can also use it for, like, Cheese Puff.
As of this point, as of reaching the first turn of one of them, they all start to let out this almost shaking sound that echoes around all of you as they seem to vibrate with this leaf-like rustling all in unison. Twigblight 4 is going to rush over at you, Emmanuel.
He is going to provoke an opportunity attack from me because he entered my my attack range.
He rushes towards Emmanuel. As he does, you notice that like little vines and whatnot that were binding him to where he was with the trees snaps, and it's as if he comes unloosened from the area around him, and he rushes towards you. As he does, Emmanuel, you look over to him as a glaive goes over your shoulder and towards him. Go ahead and roll your attack. Goes towards him.
Yeah.
As it leaps in the air and tries to claw at you, he just shish kebabs it in the air above you, slashes the blade and casts it over to the side, and it crumbles into pieces and falls off the platform.
That was the strongest thing you've ever defeated.
You're right, kid?
Yeah, for now.
All right.
Arden, as you say that, you hear the sound of another one rushing across the ground towards you.
He's trying to act cool, just like, you're right, kid.
One jumps at you and it hits. One just leaps up and onto your back and like piggybacks you and starts clawing at you.
I'll deal with you in a second. And I turn around. I'm gonna take a step here. Up to that spot. Step there. So I take a 5-foot step, and I'm going to target Twig Blight 9, and I'm gonna use the ring.
Oh, jeez. Okay. Twig Blight 9, gotcha. Go ahead and let's roll for that effect. Lightning bolt.
Oh my god.
Oh shit.
You aim the ring down at him and put your hand out. The ethereal cat appears and like runs along your arm and out in front of it as energy builds up in front on the ring. It then blasts forward into the cat, and a lightning-shaped bolt of lightning surges forward towards it. Go ahead and roll the lightning bolt's damage against this single blade.
A lightning-shaped bolt of lightning?
Did I say? Sorry, cat-shaped bolt of lightning. My brain's not working today, guys. My brain's not working today.
A lightning-shaped bolt.
A lightning-shaped bolt of cat. Sorry, that's like the fourth time I've done this. My brain is out of commission today, so just deal
Oh
with
my
me.
god, Emmanuel.
Large boulder the size of a small boulder was found on the road.
A wise man once said, "The universe will take every chance possible to humble me." You fire it, it hits it, there's this crackling sound coupled with this resonant meow, this ethereal cat call as it bursts outwards, and it explodes. A trail of fire is left on the sides of it, burning through some of the vines over there. 2, 3, 4, 5. This one is also going to rush up and leaps at you.
What's up?
It like dives at your legs like a toddler trying to latch onto their parent and begins trying to claw at your legs.
Means you better run, because the blights are coming.
And it hits. They have a very low to hit, and they're doing me proud here. D&d Dad
Yeah,
is
dude, they're doing
D&D Dad is proud of his little heckin' tree kids.
Oh!
Just 5 damage.
Bad.
Starts clawing at you. It rips off part of your jeans, and then you hear this cracking sound as part of its face splits to reveal a like wooden mouth that bites into your calf.
Ah, come on! First the car, now the jeans!
1, 2, 3. The one that you insulted earlier is going to rush at you and try to hit you, Marile.
Oh no.
Rushes towards you, and you see it shift its body weight to try to hit you, and it absent-mindedly tries to swing the arm that is no longer there and stumbles past you. It's going to go after you as well. It rushes
Let's
towards you,
go.
jumps, it hits!
You are
Oh
you
my
are the
God.
person on the couch with all the dudes behind them. You are that.
Let's go!
It deals 2 damage. That one did minimum again. What are you at? You're at 5. You guys are fighting these ones and you're managing. You guys look over to Niccolo, who just has 3 of these things, like, on 3 of his different limbs, except his sword arm, digging into him and hitting him. You just see him shaking his body, trying to wrestle them off of him. This one that's on your arm, you, like, kick your leg, and you cause it to fly up into the air. You bring one blade up and stab it into it, and then bring the... Are you using an offhand attack for this one? That
Yeah.
was... Your offhand short sword, so that's your bonus action. Did that one? Yeah, that didn't have the... Then you bring the short sword up and stab it off of the first blade, and then throw it onto the ground. It hits the ground, bounces slightly, looks incredibly confused, and then gets back up. Go ahead and give yourself back those 2 style points, and heckin', good job.
And that's me.
Okay, I'm seeing my body get a little bit fucked up here, so I'm gonna pull out my revolver, and I'm going to shoot Twig Blight a
Sure.
Oh my god!
Oh!
Oh my god.
Gain 2
This
style
time,
points!
Just get crit on.
Yeah! So what you do, going back a minute, Niccolo, like, uses one blade, stabs through it, raises it into the air, stabs it again with the other blade, and then, like, tosses it into the air, and as it's coming down, you quickly pull out your revolver and shoot it out of the air, causing it to, like, explode into splinters before it hits the ground. I mean, you haven't rolled damage yet, but I have a feeling there it goes. Okay.
I got you! Stop getting hit, yeah?
Yeah!
And that's me.
Like I said, make sure to gain 2 style points from that.
I did.
Alrighty. Marile.
So we're gonna vicious mockery this thing again. How
Alright.
dare it be in front of us?
Alright, go for it.
Ni siquiera la buena hierba.
Me too.
There you go.
Don't tell me what it means, just roll it. It failed, roll the damage. Oh, only 1.
It didn't understand. So
I
it
was
didn't
hoping
go.
it would die so I could be like, don't tell me what you said, but it made it explode. Alright, Arden.
I'm going to
Rage.
attack the one in front of me. It's like, hey, get out of my face, nerd.
It's dead.
Fuck
You
'em up.
bring your glaive up
My
again,
personal best.
shish kebab with it, bring it up into the air, and again, toss it away, and it just clambers to the ground.
With my bonus action, I will use my Polearm Master and hit the one that's trying to attack Marile.
For the sake of the kind of game we're playing, you strike one of them, you drive the end of the glaive through it, raise it up into the air, spin the weapon around, stick the other version through the other one. With one on each end of it, you bring it above your head and spin it and send their bodies cascading off to each side.
Could I have left them on so I can make like a fucking
Twig
kebab?
kebab? Sure, but if it, this is exactly the kind of game where I would say yes to that. Absolutely. All right, Twig Blight 6.
No! Come to me!
I was wondering if you were gonna be nice or not.
I'm nice about some things, and I'm not so much about other things. Goes for an attack. That one misses. It, like, leaps at you, and as it does, you bring one hand up and you push it away from you as you're trying to get the other one off. Just almost effortlessly. It just goes like... and just in the air, you just, like, with no effort, just to the side.
Like an accident almost.
Yes. Twig Blight 3 is gonna go.
Come at me, little
Come at
guy.
me.
Oh, he
No,
is.
run towards me.
He strikes. He hits.
They are really
What is
good
your
at hitting
AC?
me.
What is your AC? It's
15.
it's unlikely that they'd hit this much, but they are. You take another 5 damage. 1, 2, 3.
What even
Four.
is? Wait, he came within range. Damn it!
You have inspiration.
Yeah, I will use it.
I
will protect this
rushes
child.
forward and leaps after Emmanuel, and again, a blade that already has one of them impaled on it just comes from off screen, impales it in slow motion, then pulls it off screen. Niccolo.
Round
Time to take down my greatest enemy. Yeah?
Tinier twig blight.
You have missed.
Well, he didn't see this coming. I'm
bet
gonna
you
go
didn't
for
see
a
this.
second attack.
I see.
There's no
Roll
way
one
he saw
damage.
this coming.
You swing with the
Roll
second
one
one towards him. Yeah.
This guy he's my rival. I think nobody help me. I have like me and him. We have a
He's your
destined
final
duel going
boss.
on.
He is your final boss.
This is
He
my
needs to make it out of
final
this so he can come back later.
I have defeated gods. I have gone through so many campaigns in this Nat19 Mutant Cinematic Universe, and Twig Blight is he's.
You swing the first blade at him, and he ducks and he misses it. You swing the second blade down at him, and you hear the crunch as the blade digs into wood, and for a second you think you've really found purchase in it, and then you see his hand is raised, and though the blade is embedded into his hand somewhat, he is holding the blade back up and pushing it up towards you.
Oh my god, he's in trouble!
Don't you
Oh,
do it.
run up! I have a 5 intelligence, darling.
Yeah. The fucking dumb boy is just fucking up everyone else's combat.
No!
So I'm gonna run over there, and
Hayden,
Yes?
he's my final boss, Hayden.
sorry, Hayden can't come to the phone right now.
Head
You
empty,
don't know
only
what you're doing.
Fianula.
He's gonna kill you, Hayden. He's gonna kill you, Hayden.
I'm going to
Only-
slash at him with my katana.
Go ahead.
That's
Wow.
You go for an attack. As you go for it, the twig blade looks over towards you incoming, puts its foot under one of the roots that are there, and pulls its foot up, which catches your foot and causes you to stumble past it.
You
know
notice
what? Thing must
you
die.
notice the bark-like
Let's fucking
six-pack
go.
on this man.
All right, go ahead and take off 2 of your focus points and roll the attack again. That's it. That's it.
okay. So he's going to get fucking slashed.
You slash him, he is not dead.
What?
You slash him, and the blade, he's still holding up the blade with his hand from Niccolo. Your blade comes into him and slashes in through its head, cutting the head in half and going around to where its heart should be. And for a second, you're like, whew, got it. And then there's just a second of both eyes on the separated parts of the head focus on you. And it its structure, its posture becomes rigid, and it becomes clear it is still alive.
Can we feel its spiritual pressure?
Marley.
Ah, I see. I'm going to go help.
You are welcome to try.
Niccolo! And then, wait, I have a gun!
I have both of those around me right now. You and Fianula.
I have a gun! Well, see, it's between my legs, so I forget it's there sometimes.
All right, you draw it out and you take a shot. Go ahead and roll the attack onto it.
Sure.
As you slash into it, its hand
Wait.
begins to twist down the short sword away from you, like back towards you, and its body seems to begin to reseal as if the part where Fiona slashed it is like reconnecting. And it begins to grow slightly as if being invigorated. As it does, its head gets blasted off into splinters as Marley shoots it from afar.
I got it!
Thank you, Marley.
So guns. I see that guns work. Okay.
Shoot them all.
Die.
It does.
Yeah.
Where's
he dies.
you're doing this? Fucking, they spent all that effort on that one. You're still over here killing them in one shot each.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's just badass.
Bow, bow, bow,
Oh my
Bow,
god!
bow, bow, bow. Too bad it means nothing. And it's dead.
Dude,
Oh,
my
it was
my
so
glaive is just
cool.
fucking covered in twig blade at this. It's just a kebab.
You have 3 on one end and 2 on the other.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. That's awesome.
Twig
How do you want to
kebabs.
do this with the last one?
From behind the massive Hulk that is Gino. Just like very quickly, just. And then I spin around very quickly and just get the other one with the back end of it.
I do that?
Stand up, dig the glaive into the ground, and just watch the twig blights just sink, just slide down the glaive. Whew. Good work, guys.
As they do, as they sink down, you see the bodies of the remaining twig blights seem to slowly coalesce into the same sort of energy the cracks were made of before, which all suddenly shoots down the glaive, as if their bodies have just become a little bit of arcane aura, shoots down the glaive into the ground, and from where that is, that same glass shattering effect echoes outwards and returns the entirety of the room back to how it was before the initial transformation. When it does, everything is briefly very quiet, as the world that you were just in, the area covered in roots, it's almost impossible to imagine that it even was there to begin with. And then again, a faint bead of light floats down to where it had before, but before it reaches the ground, expands out and forms into this small bluish crystal in the air that looks like 3 faces. As you guys see, this palm-sized orb floating in its place.
Touch it.
That's.
Touch it!
What did I say about touching things?
I touch it.
It's just so much fun.
When you reach out and you touch it, the soft blue glow that's coming from it seems to die down, and like it's limited to it. It's glowing enough that it like illuminates your palm, but the majority of the glow disappears. And as you do, the cracks on the ground, which also reappeared when the room went back to normal, they reverse and repair themselves inwards and then disappear as soon as you take it out of the air. When you do take it out of the air, there's this brief moment of resistance as if it's being held where it is, but as soon as you pull on it slightly, that gives.
Does anyone know what this one is?
As you take it, it does immediately impart its own use to you, as its purpose is revealed to you. I identified it for
Did
you.
you put it on? That's really fucking cool. Holy shit.
We kill Artem for it.
I'll kill all of you.
He's like debating whether to give this to Emmanuel or Fionnuala.
What you find?
It affects everybody.
This is very good. If we use this thing, we'll become more, well, healthier, I guess. Well, you see, our hit points are gonna permanently go up by 1d4 plus 2.
1d4 plus 2?
That's so many numbers!
That would really help us in the Marvel vs. Capcom games.
Go ahead and roll 1d4. Oh, dude! Got a 6!
Yo!
Hell yeah!
I'm level 1 with 20
One sec,
health. Let's
nobody
go.
adjust it. Let me adjust it for you, just so I can confirm it's being done.
Arjun out here being
I'm
a baddie.
amazing! Hell yeah!
Hell yeah, dude!
We should probably make our way up to the surface soon.
Oh, yeah, right.
Okie dokie Loki.
You guys head out and you leave through the other exit in the room. As you do, you find the area does have a bit of an incline, moving up towards what you presume to be the surface. As you move about, you see, though this one particular tunnel appears to be completely encased in ice, as in the walls and ceiling are totally covered in it, you see what looks to be a ladder that you would recognize as being one that should lead up to a sewer grate, if it is correct. It is currently going up to the ceiling, and the top of it disappears into some of the ice. And you do notice that the ice at the top of it seems to be thicker and comes down a bit more, but you see a ladder that presumably should go up to the surface.
Who thinks they can break through ice? Like thick ice. Like you can probably skate on it if you try ice.
That's easy. Here we go.
As you get on it, and as your massive frame gets onto the ladder, which you are yourself about 3 times wider than, as you climb up, you hear the creaking of it, and you see part of the bar of the ladder cracks as if it's frozen through so much that it itself is as brittle as ice. And you stop and very carefully continue, and it doesn't seem to break, but there is a moment where you're worried it would collapse. You climb up, about 15 feet up on this ladder is where it becomes just ice, and looking up through it, you can see there is a manhole cover after about 2 or 3 feet of solid ice up on top of it.
I'm gonna try to, like, use my heckin' sword.
You bring your weapon up and you strike it. It digs into the ice and cracks begin to spiderweb out from where you strike it. Some chunks of ice do collapse downward, but it doesn't seem to destroy all of it. But when you drag the blade out, you see that the hole you've made it touches the top of the tunnel. A large chunk slips down and falls just beside you. Using the blade of your greatsword as leverage, you, like, strike up in and pull it and try to shift the ice to the side above you. You cause a crack to appear and widens as you use your greatsword like a crowbar. And when you finally pull it down after a great deal of cracking above you, a section of it that was covering the manhole cover completely falls down. Roll me one last dexterity saving throw.
Ooh. And of course.
and then you fall, striking the ground.
You're right
Got it.
there.
Let's head on up.
Okay.
As you climb back up and move towards it, you push against the manhole cover, and at first you hear like the sound of cracking from the other side, as if ice had encased it on the other side as well, but you manage to push it upwards. As you do, the moment the seam between the manhole cover and the tunnel itself widens enough to expose it to the outside, a thick white mist pours in over you that is freezing cold. Whenever you open it, you can see nothing but pure white above you, Gino. Like, moving the sewer grate slightly over and sticking your head out, not only is it absurdly cold, to the point that you almost feel like you pass out just from that, but sticking your head up, you can't tell if you're in the middle of a city or in the middle of a tundra. There's nothing but pure white blizzard and some vague shapes and sounds that sound vaguely demonic, like howls coming from out in the blizzard around you. As you choose to look around, the one thing that you do make out is this massive form that looks like that giant monolithic structure that had appeared out of the ground, that huge talon that seems to be rising up into the sky. You can vaguely see its shadow, and up close it is massive, larger than any building you've seen in Apom Capital, larger than most skyscrapers. It's very much an Empire State Building size structure, and it seems to just be piercing up and hooking towards the sky, and the only reason you can see it through the snow is there's chunks of it that seem to be lit up with arcane energy that are these massive areas from which you occasionally see like shadows of demons escaping. From where you are, they're like the size of specks, but against this bright light coming from it, you see them escaping out and flying off into the city. Given that you took that time, I'm going to roll that save against everybody again as the demonic blizzard continues to pour inwards. You guys notice that as this mist pools, it seems to coalesce for a second, as if it chooses not to spread, and then rushes out. This mist once again seems to have a mind of its own, and is looking to freeze anything alive before it spreads naturally.
Close it up, Gino!
Fucking close it!
Okay.
As you drag it, you see ice forming on it that almost looks like it's intelligently trying to bind it to the ground to prevent you from closing it over. But you pull against it and break it free from the ice forming on it and wrestle it back into place. As it does, the mist that is in the room is cut off from the column coming down from the ceiling. You see the existing mist, like, forms together and seems to take the shape, rapidly changing form of, like, a beast, a quadrupedal beast that roars towards you all, and hear this howl coming from this mist form itself, which then quickly loses its form and dissolves as the mist spreads out and vanishes along the ground.
So, the weather, it sort of has kind of a mind of its own. It seems kind of like home a little bit.
Oh, really?
Nothing there's warm, and therefore, because we're warm, it wants us to not exist. So basically, it will try to kill us, if that makes sense.
Well, I guess we're sewer people now.
So we have to kill the weather.
I suppose, so maybe we stay down here for a while?
Do you think these sewers lead to, somewhere safer?
They should lead to just outside, I would think. Perhaps if we continue along them, we can get out of the range of this storm.
That sounds like a good idea.
Most entrances to the surface that you find look like they're either frozen completely over, with like walls of ice blocking you that look like they were pouring down, or have collapsed. Nicolo, I won't even have you roll for it. As you guys are moving along, you come to a area that continues to move forward, where you hear the sound of creatures moving around ahead of you. You hear this grotesque shifting through the snow and a very faint
I put my hand out to the others and just very lowly. Something up ahead.
Is a thing up there?
There are something making noise, and there is a creature going back and forth, making it very cold, similar to what we had just seen.
Should we try and get the drop on it?
I believe that to be the best course of action. No matter what,
Stealth
we need to
mission.
go through here. Okay. He looks at everybody. Who here feels like they are fast?
Raise his hand.
I'm quick
Raise his
witted.
hands.
Me and Fionnuala will try to sneak in and get the drop on things, and you rush in. All of the rest of you rush in as soon as you hear anything go on.
Cool. Let's
Works
fucking
for
do
me.
it.
As you move over to the hall, are you just going to charge in and forward, or?
Me and Fionnuala are decently quick. I was gonna think we could potentially stealth our way as far as we can, hopefully.
Both of you roll stealth then.
Ooh.
The area, just to give you an idea, the area
Oh
is...
no!
Oh! I thought you said you were fast!
So, Fionnuala, go ahead and lose all your style points.
I
Yeah.
don't know. I
I
feel like
have
we were
none
pretty
to
stealthy
lose.
last
It's
time.
fine.
Nicolo,
Shut up.
you sneak over and look down the hallway to get a view. You see that down the hallway there's mostly the reddish light of the emergency lighting that has come on, illuminating a mostly snow-covered area down the hall. It's quite long. You see piping and whatnot leading along the walls, and you see on the far other side there's some light that looks like it's coming in from the outside, as there appears to be a crack that doesn't lead straight outside, but given what's happening with it, you surmise relatively quickly it probably leads to the surface, because that is where these gusts of freezing wind are coming in from. They are billowing down the hall every time they happen, enough that when you first look out, you have to pull back as you feel like you might be hurt. It burns your face how cold it is. As you go to take a second look in, Fionnuala catches up and stumbles out as you take note of, in the snow, there appear to be these 4 creatures that are moving around. They appear to just be picking up things like rocks and chunks of debris and whatnot, looking at them, gnawing on them and putting them down. Of the 4, the farthest one has something in both of its hands, like one thing in each. One of them appears to be this vial of this vaguely pink liquid. And the other one, it has another, what looks like something similar to the Devil and Vital Stars, but is a slightly different color and doesn't seem as descript, but it has the same sort of glow to it. You see it just looking at them, biting them occasionally, and when they don't, break, going back to, just investigating them. The creatures you're looking at, they are about half the size of a person. They have this leathery-looking skin, and they have faces that look like distorted, demonic-looking dogs. They will
Luckily,
occasionally...
we're both so stealthy, right?
As you
Fionnuala?
do this, you take out your weapon. Fionnuala stumbles out beside you, and all 4 of the creatures in the hallway, I'm just going to go ahead and share an image of the map here, all 4 of them, turn and look over towards the 2 of you as this happens. They begin moving forward. They move as if they were apes, putting a lot of their weight onto their front knuckles as they move, and as they rush towards you, they almost seem to look like they try to start galloping down towards you. This one's going to start dashing.
Okay, so this is 100% my fault. Oh no. I'm going to take out my rifle, or as my Lexiadis brain read it as riffle just now. So I'm going to take out my rifle, and I'm going to shoot the dredge. Beep beep.
You fire it as it rushes towards you. You're shooting at number 6. No, sorry. You're shooting at
Number 2.
As it rushes towards you, you shoot it, stumbles, and cries out as it hits you, but it seems to just make it angrier as it continues to try to move towards you.
I need to get a style point off of Dredge 4.
Go for it.
I believe in you.
That is a miss. on a count of the 1, and you lose all of your style points.
All right, I will get up there. It's like, oh, fuck, that's ugly. And then I'll pull out my revolver, and I will shoot it in its face.
I'll pull out my gun. All right, go for it.
I pull out my gun.
You shoot at it, it hits it, it recoils, it's continuing to try to charge, but it is in a considerable amount of pain with the 2 bullet holes that are currently piercing through it. The Stretch is actually going to move around you and get to the other side. Lets out an obnoxious belching sound as a large radius of gas escapes from it, which you begin choking as this disgusting fetid cloud begins to fill your lungs.
He's just at it. I can still get a style point.
You hit!
Yay! But I think that means I get a style point.
Yes, it does.
I did it!
You fire
And
it
then I go
into
over
the
here.
cloud, and you see the shadow of the creature just go and like falls kind of slightly over in a cartoonish manner on the other side of it.
So I'm gonna cast a Ring of Wonder. I'm gonna
where are you
target up north of the farthest.
We'll
thinking
say, for the purposes of what we're doing, that the being heavily obscured won't stop you from doing this, because then you'll technically be between 2 clouds. Okay, go ahead. Roll the Ring of Wonder. Lightning Bolt. You blast that one. You strike it. It seems, when you strike it, it doesn't seem to mind the damage as much as you would have liked. When it hits it, its rubbery skin actually seems to, like, absorb some of the lightning. It does get hurt by it, but it doesn't die. It is looking pretty bad, though.
Alright, so I'm gonna run over to this fucker right here. And I'm gonna stab him.
Stab him good.
I'm gonna,
Kick
that's
it
my
hard.
plan. Wee!
Well, you did the exact opposite of what he said.
Come on.
I love her so much. I'm so happy.
You just get ready to do the fucking like
Hayden.
Virgil. You shall die, and then, like you click your sword and nothing happens. You're like,
Hayden,
Yes, okay.
there are numbers above 1.
I don't think they exist. That sounds fake.
Gino.
Okay, and I'm gonna go in for Slush.
Alright, you deal 8 damage total, you swing down on it and hit it. It recoils, lets out a and it seems to mind, but it is not dead. By the manual, you definitely can't target anything past the second one.
And I run. I'm gonna dash so I can get up to.
Are you moving through the cloud?
Yeah.
Alright, so as you move through the cloud, we're gonna have to roll against you.
I see this child run from my arms into a poison cloud.
Begins coughing and hacking, and then you just hear them disappear into the distance.
He let me down, but you won't guess it, though you never have.
I will use the magic power of dashing.
You succeed as you dash into the cloud and move forward. This Dretch is going to enter your space!
I'm gonna get him!
The Dretch, you see the Dretch walk out, the one carrying the pinkish vial of liquid and the other star, and it seems to drop them when it sees you, and rushes towards you. Go ahead and make your attack
Use a
against
style
it.
point.
You strike it for 9 damage, cleaving
Oh,
into it
it's not
as it rushes by. Nah, man, they're kind of beefy compared to what you've been fighting. Rushes towards you, and
fair.
it's going to multi-attack. Goes for a bite. Nat1 stumbles by you, falls into the snow, quickly gets back up, and swipes at you with its claw. Gets a 2, misses. This Stretch is going to go. It's going to rush out through the cloud,
Come
and
at me, fucker.
it is going to. It rushes up at you. It's going to try to bite you. It misses the bite. Tries to
You're
swing
not
at.
as strong as those fucking twigs.
Tries to swing at you, and it misses the claws.
You're not as strong as Twig 3.
I'm gonna beat it up.
Okay.
You understand?
You hit. You gonna beat him up? You're beating him up. He's not dead.
Oh, bonus action. Oh no!
You lose
I
all-
lost my one hit. I lost my 1 style point.
Oh no!
Down and infecting you!
Fuck! What you do to me?
Is that you?
Yeah.
Dretch. I can't wait till you get some of your class features and can start doing things. The Dretch is
Right?
going to attack the.
I technically have my class.
It misses. Goes for another
use
attack.
them.
It swings down at you, bats you. Fionula, you take 3 damage.
Ow! Cool, I'm gonna stab it back.
Alrighty.
Kick its ass. Hey!
yeah.
Fine.
See,
There are numbers between 1 and 20.
Gain 2 style points. Roll your damage. You bring out your sword, do a quick slash with it. As you do, you put it back into the scabbard and very much do the clicking it into place, and the creature in front of you just falls into 2 pieces.
I did it.
I'll note, by the way, as you kill it, the purplish star it was carrying and the vial of pinkish liquid both fall to the ground. You rush forward, you strike, gain a style point because you got max damage. It is not dead. You dig your sword into it. It lets out a pained cry at you.
You know what? It's fucking gonna die.
Using 2 style points, let's do this!
Oh my god.
You got a crit anyways! You rolled a 33 at level 1!
God.
You bring up your blade. Okay, gain 2 style points, roll your damage. You bring up your blade, and as you strike with your sword, you cut with such intensity that as you slash, it gets knocked into the air momentarily, and then there's just a gust of force and wind that comes off of it that splits the cloud in front of you and disperses it. Snow erupts as if a gust of wind was being shot back towards the back area where you are, hits the wall, and the slight bit of force causes a minor cave-in, and the breach in the wall crumbles and closes as the dretch is knocked into the air, and just in slow motion, its body severs and cuts in half. Yeah, the star and the potion are still heckin' sitting on the ground.
Can I take a look? Not that I'm smart enough to.
Sure, you're close enough. When you pick
Not
it
that
up,
I'm smart or pretty enough.
when you pick it up, like I said, it just looks like a star that has a slight purplish hue to it. There's a small little core of magical energy inside of it that when you move it around seems to glisten with a kind of rainbow effect. The other one, the vial, is just this tiny vial that looks like you could like pop the cork off of it and drink it. It's like a shot's worth of liquid. There's this like effervescent looking rose-like hue to it. It's very pleasing to look at. And whenever you're holding it, it occasionally has this kind of warm feeling to it, almost like the warmth of skin.
Yeah.
I'm just like holding it up in front of my face, just like turning it and just like looking at the vial. Yeah, if you want to look at it, Arden, go ahead.
Can I
I'll just,
try
like,
and
hold.
I don't know.
You can
roll
spend
something
5 minutes with it and identify
Yeah.
it, because again, short
Sure.
rest. The point of this game is to be pretty expedient.
Mhm.
Which one do you want to take a look at?
There was the potion and the arcane crystal.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
I will take a. What does the crystal look like?
It is like a little star-shaped crystal that has these little inscriptions that look like demonic writing along the side of it. It has a purplish color to it and is semi-translucent, and at the very center of it there is a refracting rainbow-like light, as if a bit of demonic energy were trapped and suspended inside of it.
The demonic writing. Does it say anything like in
What languages
Fiendish
do you
or
speak?
whatever?
Yeah, I was gonna ask.
Fiendish and common.
Yeah, I speak.
You can't tell what it is, but it appears to be the script for a spell.
All right. Well, I'm gonna pass mine off to Emmanuel. This thing allows you to cast a spell, even if you're not advanced enough in the arcane arts to actually use it.
Should I use it right now?
No,
Okay.
no, you shouldn't. Nah, save it for an enemy or something. What you got there, Fiona?
Nothing. I think it's just something weird. Probably like some monster blood or something.
Really?
Yep.
You sure about that?
Pretty sure. I know demons. You know that.
Roll
I also know
deception,
demons.
Fionnuala. Yeah, they don't seem to be misleading you. Seems to be relatively nothing, as far as you can tell.
Huh. All right. Weird that they put nothing in a bottle. Whatever.
Demons are weird.
I agree. They're very strange.
Eh.
Looks at you.
Big shrug. It's just meh. Demons are odd. They carry weird things sometimes. It's just some things cast spells and some things are just stupid. Whatever.
What is it, like an energy drink or something?
Maybe. Have we had those?
Oh, are you getting thirsty? You should
You
probably
should try
drink it
it.
then.
They keep telling me I'm not allowed to have those yet.
But I mean, yeah, I'm thirsty and I'll drink from my water skin. Well, I'm good. Why are you acting so weird? All right, shall we go?
And I'll start marching away.
Let's go.
I've already started walking away.
As you continue to move, you see once again the passage opens up into another like sewer-like tunnel, but everything around you appears to be mostly collapsed and particularly destroyed. Like the walls are particularly cracked, as if this was the epicenter of some kind of like larger tectonic event. As you step out and look down into the tunnel ahead of you, you see there's actually what looks like this large ravine-like area that has separated the tunnel and disrupted it, so effectively it lets out into this large cave with the walls made of crushed bits of city and whatnot, and you can see the faintest glow coming from in there. Coming in and looking down, you see this massive section that appears to have been dug out by the seismic activity, but in front of it, and the thing that catches your eye is on the eastern side of the wall, you see a very large obsidian and copper structure peeking out from it, like massive. It's partially circular, but large enough that it looks like this is only like the smallest part of the structure peeking out through the wall, and you see what appears to be a large semicircular gate-like area and various bits of what look like mechanical, almost cameras, but they look more like cameras if they were built by people from like an ancient society. Like, they look like they're from a culture that must be super old, but you see lenses definitely moving around, scanning the area. Up above, the ceiling is effectively held together by large chunks of city and concrete that have just nestled into each other in such a way as to not collapse. But after a moment of inspecting it, you can tell that this large structure peeking out appears to be the base of the large talon-like structure that erupted from underneath the city. As you guys get close enough to properly inspect it across the way, you notice that the whole thing is glowing lightly, enough to light up the chamber with this like soft reddish glow, but you can't see exactly where the light's coming from. And when you get close, you see some of these little domes split open as if they were mechanical eyes, which look like over towards the lot of you. Not in any kind of aggressive manner, but they look like they look over towards you, these little lenses focusing and unfocusing on you. You guys get down to the base of it, looking up at it. You see the eyes look to you, and every time they do, every time one of you comes close enough, you see this, like, light comes out of it, this flat light that scans along you, and then flashes red for a second, as if it's not finding what it's looking for, and then stops paying attention to you. Until eventually, Gino comes to, close enough to it to be scanned. And when it scans him, the light turns yellow for a moment and stays on him, and all of the eyes collectively move, and the lights from them all scan him at once.
What's happening?
You see these like lines of light, these little rings of light from them scanning you are just moving along your body as if they're like inspecting you thoroughly. One by one, the light from them starts to turn green, as if they were confirming that you are what you are, and then they close one by one. And there's the sound of steam escaping pipes as you see the seam of this large gate. It begins to glow lightly, and large gouts of steam escape from various areas around it. And it doesn't begin to open, but you hear the faintest bit of rumbling, enough so that it causes the entire area to begin to shake lightly as it looks like the structure begins doing something in response to Gino being present. You guys feel some rocks from the ceiling fall, as if the rumbling of it is causing the relatively unstable cavern overhead, made from just chunks of road and building that have intersected, as causing them to collapse down slightly. Not in great chunks, but just a rock here or there, enough that you have to look up and dodge around them. A piece of paper flits down, and you can just briefly see one of the photos from the exhibit drift by you.
Grab it.
You grab it. As you do so, and then you guys look up towards the ceiling, you can see that chunks of the ceiling here appear to be made from displaced parts of the exhibit, as if the structure had been broken and shifted by the earth to land here. And as you notice this, you see a piece crumble, slide out, and a very large object falls down onto the large cliff, the large raised platform that's at the center of this area. It crashes down, lands, and you hear a shattering sound. Shortly afterwards, you hear another one, but before this happens, as this like cloud of snow and dust is kicked up where the first one is, landing on top of the little outcrop to your south, another one falls, and you see a glass case containing pieces of armor that resemble the one that you saw in the basement, but all disconnected from each other, falls down and shatters, and they're scattered around the area. As this happens, you see the eyes open again, begin scanning these new objects, and you see a red flash coming from a lot of them, as the eyes of this helmet, of the armor set that just fell in front of you, light up, raise into the air, and the pieces of armor begin snapping together. This one looks like it was in a case that wasn't broken when it fell. As it begins to snap together, and the armor begins to take its form, like the shoulder connecting and like reeling back, and then a piece of its armor flying off from the side of it, connecting to the elbow. You see it flexing as if it's getting used to its own body as this animated armor begins to stand, and I have an image for you guys real quick. As you guys see this standing at about the same size as Gino Angelo. As it rises up, you see it put its hand out and spreads its hand, and the large hook-like sickle, grappling sickle that it has, one flies out of the wreckage and into its hand, and you see arcane energy create a chain that connects down to its waist. As this happens, you see from the cloud of dust that was on the outcropping, the little raised area, the dust splits apart as an identical sickle flies upwards towards the ceiling from there, from a second one of these armors, connects into part of the ceiling and pulls a case down from the wreckage, which, Nicolo, you would recognize as being a case that was sitting in front of it in the basement. You see the case come down and break halfway down through the air as it flies towards it, and out from it comes this rifle that has a very, a design unlike any that you've really seen before, and you see the arm of the armor that was in that cloud reach up and catches it as it comes down towards it. As these two armors look down towards you, you hear an alarm begin going off from the structure to your side. These grates begin opening. As these things seem to look towards you, almost as if you're intruders in this space, I'd like to know if there's anything you guys want to do, because the antagonistic intent of these armors becomes relatively evident very quickly.
I would like to shoot the one that got the rifle.
Like to draw my sword.
As you do, these grates begin opening up in the tower, and you see these small objects rocket out real quick. You can see relatively quickly they appear to be just mechanical hands that have small rocket boosters on the back of them that fly around and begin gliding around these armors as if they were satellites, as if they were compatriots of theirs. I'd like everybody to roll initiative. A screeching sound comes from these armors. Gino, it's weird. You immediately detect the intent of them. As if you understand whatever's compelling them to act, you can tell that they have identified you as intruders and do not want you to enter into the structure. Though that's fairly obvious, you come to that conclusion innately. Like, it's not something that you have to think about or figure out. It just comes to you almost in a moment as if you should be doing the same thing, but you manage to push through that as you are not mindless.
Okay. So I am aware these things are mindless.
They are following programming. You know that at least.
Okay.
Fionnuala, you get the first turn.
I'm going to do that thing that I do, and I'm gonna run over here, and I'm going to stab.
Those ones, just so you know, they're that cliff. Basically, anytime you see a cliff, it goes up 15 feet.
From there, would I be able to shoot it, or would it then have cover? If
You
it's
can
like,
shoot it.
Cool. I'm gonna shoot with my revolver.
Alright, you aim towards it and you fire. You absolutely hit.
Take that!
You fire at it, it explodes, it detonates relatively easily.
Oh, that's really easy! They're nothing! And that's me.
They're nothing.
They're nothing.
Nothing.
The one that is in front of you guys looks towards you, one hand grappling one of the sickles, the other hand reaches onto its back and pulls out a long, very straight blade. And it is going to rush towards the tiny child.
Not the tiny child.
It moves forward, rushing over towards you, identifying you as the smallest and weakest of the bunch. It's going to turn, and it's going to go for several attacks on you. It goes for one. Attacks the first one hits, slashes towards you. It does minimum damage. It is then going to go for a second attack on you as well. It misses that one. As it turns, though, it grabs the sickle on its waist and throws it with the chain out towards Nicolo. Though it's partially distracted by Emmanuel, it hits. You take 1d4 plus 2 bludgeoning damage as it hits you. And then whenever it hits you, I need you to make a strength save, which I'm going to roll against you here. You succeed as it latches onto you, and you feel it try to pull you towards it into the ground. You resist it and shrug it off, and the sickle flies back to it, and it grabs it with its hand with a very sudden action. As it does, the clang of metal on metal reverberates through the entirety of the area.
Well, you see, I was gonna pull out my gun and start shooting at Rifle Boy, but now there's a small child being attacked, so I'm going to instead pull out my swords. And by swords, I mean my chata. You know what? I don't want the first one to miss this time.
It certainly didn't. Oh, wow. That is maybe the best thing you could have done, actually. I mean, you can't choose to do a critical, certainly, but due to getting a critical, whenever you go up to it and you strike it, you cause some permanent damage. You, like, smash it, and one of its shoulders just caves in entirely. The critical damage has caused it to not be able to move properly. Part of its armor shatters inwards. It now can only use one of its arms on any given turn.
I hit it again!
Oh my lord!
Oh my god, dude!
What so you gain back the 2 you spend.
2
My god! That is holy crap!
Oh my god, dude!
Nat 34!
We didn't get a nat 34, but
Wow! I think she's the strongest.
for a total of 8 damage.
My personal best.
It takes 12 though, because the 4 that was critical, it takes double from that. So you hit it. It takes the first damage. Seeing its weakness, you drive your second blade in through the section that like you broke off and cause it to pierce inwards. It goes through some kind of substance on the inside of the armor and then pierces out the other side. And then you draw it out. When you do, the lights inside of it begin flickering faintly, as if it's struggling, as if it's stunned by it. And then it cracks back into working order, but it did not like that. It is hurt.
I like to think that as soon as that first crit happens, he looks at it and goes, so that's what I need to do. And he just does it again immediately.
I just need to get crits every time I hit.
I just need to get crits.
I'll
every
just
time.
do that.
Legendary action from the one that is up on top of the mound. It is was going to pay attention to them, but considering what you just did, it is going to aim, and it is just simply going to make 1 attack against you for this one. It aims its gun, and it fires it towards you, Nicolo, and it hits. Firing it towards you, as it hits, it lets out this, what sounds almost like this choir-like humming sound, this almost angelic sound that quickly raises in pitch until it becomes a very quick screech that hits you along with the bullet. You take 5 damage. One of the booster claws is going to go. It looks down at Gino, and by looks I mean it's a claw, so you know, whatever. It is going to make a beeline down for you. It forms into a fist. You hear a very faint and then rockets towards you.
Oh my god.
Fires at you, it hits.
Are these like armored hands?
Yes, they're mechanical. They are like,
Okay.
they're not dissimilar to your own hand.
Oh, jeez.
Also, you need to make a strength save, which you fail. You are now grappled by it.
I'm doing very poorly at the things I'm supposed to be
It
good
like
at
grabs
today.
onto your head, and you can feel the hand superheating. You're gonna take 1 fire damage at the start of your turn as you are grappled by this hand.
Last one.
Oh jeez!
Oh,
I target
we go, boys.
the magistrate arm, and I'm gonna use my last use of the ring.
As you aim it up towards it, it aims the gun down at you, and you can see these small pockets of light build up on the side of it as if it's charging something. Go ahead and roll whatever you're gonna do to it. You cast Fairy Fire.
And then I pull out a dagger and I turn to this thing.
Gino, you take 1 fire damage.
Okay.
oh, you're
I'm
really low.
try to rip this fucking thing off me.
So Gino,
But I'm gonna try.
there's something
Yeah,
I'd
what's
like you
up?
to know.
Mhm.
I'm going to share an image with all of you. For this battle, I'm introducing style actions, special things that can be done with style points, which include, in this case, Launch Claw. If you kill a booster claw, you can use a style point to send it hurtling at another creature within 30 feet, and it does 1d4 slashing damage to them as you send its remains hurtling at them. Then that creature can also only take half their movement on their next turn, or if you're grappled by any, which you are, Gino, you can spend a style point to make a weapon attack roll against each one, and noting that this is not part of your action. If you do that, it is an independent thing that you do separately, and any that you hit, they're no longer grappling you. This is
yeah,
going to
I'm
be
gonna do
something that
the-
in major battles I'll be doing during this campaign. Style points will have individual actions for different battles.
I will do the less firm hand.
Alright, use a style point, so make a weapon attack against that one. Only one's grappling you currently.
Hiya!
That is a hit. Roll damage against it. It is dead. Do you want to use another style point to send it flying at somebody?
Yes, I do.
Who do you want to send it at?
I want to send it at Vetrasangelo over there, the one near Emmanuel.
You hurl it, it nat ones, it misses. That'll take your other style point, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But you hurl it over at it. As you do, it brings up its hand, it catches it on the hook and like pierces the hand, and then tosses it off to the side. You still have
And
your
none of that
whole
was in-
turn ahead of you, though.
I'll hit this claw next to me.
That's a hit.
Brr, 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 brr.
Roll that damage. It instantly dies. Just revealed another thing on the style point. Sweet! Kill 2 or more creatures in a single turn, you get a style point.
And you can launch him.
You could use a style point to launch him if you wanted to.
Just use the style point I just got to launch him again.
Hell yeah.
Alright. Fuck it. Yeah, let's do it.
Alright, go for it.
We'll have disadvantage.
Yeah, I'm gonna launch it at the Booster Claw 1. Hey, yeah.
That misses.
Yeah.
Okay, you rush up to there, you grab it, you take one booster claw, you grab it, you throw it over at him, you smash the other one, grab it, hurl it over at him as well, and then you move on past.
Alrighty then. A lot of things happened since I looked up. I'll get here.
He just points his glaive at Marile.
I'm gonna poke it to death.
Get it, boy.
Alrighty.
Hey.
And I will move here, and I'll stab the Vetrus there with my bonus action.
Strike over Emmanuel's head, who ducks under you as you strike back with the other end of the glaive, and you hit it. You strike its head, its neck like cracks back, and then slowly shifts back down into place with a sliding sound of metal plates against each other. Then this boy's going to go.
And he's gonna politely put his gun down and surrender because all of his hands.
Why do we fight?
My
Generations of combat could have been avoided if only we had practiced taller. Okay, good, they bought it. You guys see it raises the gun up, opens up a chamber, and quickly slams it shut, and as it does, you see several pieces of ammo fall from it that are still hot from having been just fired. As it does, you hear them screeching as if a couple of these pieces of ammo are still live. They begin screeching louder and louder, and the Angelo up there takes its sword and strikes them and sends them hurtling towards Gino, Emmanuel, and Arden.
You said they were extremely hot. Emmanuel would try and cool them down, or at least one of them down, by casting Ray of Frost at it.
In that case, Emmanuel, I'd like you to please roll me your spellcasting ability.
Could I deflect the thing coming at me with my glaive and sort of toss it like in a different direction?
I'd say roll me an athletics check for the purposes of that.
I would, in the spirit of DMC, like to pull out my gun and try to shoot the bullet out of the air.
Yes,
roll me just an attack roll then. In that case, he is going to roll an attack roll to set the DC. As you guys do, Emmanuel, you put your hand out and it freezes, and as it comes by you, it lands at your feet in like a clump of ice, and you see it still glowing. You kick it rapidly away, and it detonates, letting a screeching sound out away from you. As it does, Arden, you swing at one, and with the blunt side of the blade, you deflect it and toss it up towards the ceiling where it detonates. And Gino, you fire a bullet back at it, which collides with it, hits it, sends it spinning backwards, and then none of them hit you guys.
Hell yeah.
I'd like all three of you to
rolled
gain,
low.
and all three of you gain a style point. You guys see several vents open up on the side of the wall, and you guys become aware of various small machines that appear to be assembling booster claws.
This thing is by me. Shooting is dumb idea, but I have a dagger. I'm going to stab it. This is Tetris Angelo.
Yeah, that just hits, using all three. You just hit him.
Oh my gosh.
You strike it, it takes 5 damage as Marley ducks over to it, goes to stab it. It brings its blade down to parry, and you quickly shift around it, and almost with the acuity of an assassin, bring your blade up and strike into the side of it.
Back away. Go to heal the child.
Emmanuel, you regain 5 hit points. That is the last of Marile's spell slots.
I'm gonna kill him so good. I didn't kill those other things so good, so I'm gonna kill this so good. You're gonna be so proud of me. I'm cast inflict wounds, and I'm gonna put that bardic inspiration into it.
You put your hand up towards it, form it like a claw, and clench your hand down. That just hits.
I hit with your bardic inspiration.
Marley, you gain a style point because they succeeded with your bardic inspiration. You strike, it resists it down to 7 because necrotic. It does not kill it, but whenever you hit it, you see its armor very much beginning to like snap and break.
I thought I was gonna get him. One sec. That's my turn.
This boy's going to go. He's going to rush forward and jump. As he jumps, he's going to take one attack with the Magistrate, and he's going to fire it at Nicolo. Fires it towards you. Okay. So he crit.
Fucking go!
fires it at you. As he turns, you deflect that claw, and you see it aiming at you. It fires, taking advantage of the moment of you being distracted by it. You take 16 damage as it hits you. It lands on the ground very much like with a very large as it strikes. It gets back up. It is going to rush towards you. We're going to say that the fall will have taken movement speed, so it can only get this far. He's then going to take another shot, and he's going to take that shot once again at Nicolo. Fires at you, not with advantage this time. It does hit. You are dying as it strikes you. It's then going to use its bonus action to attack with the chain, and it is going to use that on Emmanuel. As you get knocked down, you see it hurl its sickle by you and try to dig into Emmanuel, who it's doing real good this turn.
All right, Marile. This time I'm definitely gonna.
You take 6 damage, and you need you to make a strength save, which you succeed. It tries to yank you towards it, but you shirk it off and push it away from you. It is then... Oh, this is gonna suck. So, end of the round. Another skill challenge. It aims the magistrate up at the ceiling, fires it. You see a chunk of the building above you explodes, and then it hurls the sickle up into the part where it blasted open. It catches on something, and you hear the sound of metal creaking as it pulls down from the ceiling. Something above you gives, and a huge chunk of stone comes hurtling down and is going to hit everything in a 15-foot radius, which means
Goodbye, everybody.
everything here is going to be hit by this.
Goodbye.
I'd like to know what everybody in that space, which includes Marile, Arden, Emmanuel, and Gino, are going to do about this. And yes, the booster claws and whatnot are also going to have to do this, but we'll deal with you guys first. What would you like to do to try to get out of the way?
I know what to do.
Oh, yeah.
Well, cool, you're unconscious.
I want to lay down and die.
Can she jump on top of Nicolo and shield him so he doesn't die faster?
You're committing to being hit by it in that case. I'd say if you did that, you'd be making a constitution check. No, you'd be making a strength check to see if you can prevent it from striking him. Like, if you can hold back the force of it. You can do that. I will say if you want to do that, we'll resolve that one immediately. So, roll me a strength check. You succeed. Nicolo will not take damage. You, on the other hand, will.
Ow, 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 ow.
Well, I'll actually dole out damage here in a minute. Heckin', Emmanuel, what would you like to do?
You just try and run the fuck away, if I'm being honest.
Roll me a dex save in that case. Arden, what would you like to do?
I try and deflect as much of it as I can with my glaive.
Roll an attack roll. That's actually basically exactly that's just above what you needed. And Gino, what are you doing?
Wondering if this is too crazy, but it's also DMC.
I'll let you get away with a lot.
So, I have this great sword.
You do. It's good.
Could I throw it upwards and try to either, like, spinning cut the fucking metal in half so it falls on either side of us?
I'll let you do this. I will say if you don't get really high, because you're trying to help everybody with this, right?
Yes.
I'm only letting you do this because it's at the end of everybody else's things, but if this works, I'll say if you roll this and you get a 18 or higher, yes. If you get it lower, then you fail. The DC was 13, but if you can roll an attack roll and get an 18 or higher, then I will say that it works. You grab it as they all try to duck and cover. Marile rushes and covers over Nicolo. Emmanuel tries to run and is like mid-trip moving forward, like reaching up and trying to keep his hat on his head. Arden's reaching up and you see he's like getting ready to slash it. Seeing that this is not going to work out for everybody, you take your great sword, hurl it in such a way that it spins through the air. It comes up close to this giant chunk of metal and floor that is crashing down on you. And there's just a wide shot of everything slowing down. Then a sudden crash as it cracks in half, and the chunks fall to either side of you, still hitting the Vetrus and the booster claws, but everyone else is left out of the attack. Gino, go ahead and gain 2 style points.
Do I catch my sword when it falls down?
Whenever it comes back down, it like, as you slash it, it gets stuck in part of the building, and as it crashes down on the side of you, reach out and grab it and tear it out of the wreckage. And I'm going to roll the damage against them. All 3! After that happens, chunks of it just like girders just suddenly come and like one at a time just strike into the 3 creatures and destroy them. Goodness. It rolled maximum damage. It's a good thing you guys avoided it.
Yeah.
Good.
The one other thing I gotta do at the top of each round is after you guys destroy those, you hear the mechanical whirring of more of the hands being created. I'm gonna roll for how many are made. You see one of the machines spits out a single booster claw.
Oh my god, I'm so glad they're okay. Okay. Alright. I'm gonna take out my katana and I'm going to attack Booster Claw 5 because he's the closest to my friends. I know it's just fucking
Alrighty.
Happy!
That hits.
Yay! Cool. Beep.
Beep.
Beep, beep.
You kill it. You roll a 1 and you kill it. I like that you just are saying beep every now and then. Beep!
I'm gonna hurl it at Booster Claw 4.
Do it.
Hiya.
It misses.
Yay! Love that for me.
Nicolo, roll me a death save. Oh lord!
Don't do that!
Oh no!
No!
I'm not saving anyone from death, so you guys better fucking fix that ASAP.
God damn it, Nicole.
Marley, you're next.
Dad, no.
I was like, I know I can't react. I don't know how reactions and shit work, but I want to stabilize this fuck.
You can do you can either heal him or you can do a medicine check as your action on your turn.
You also know that I have one of those vital star thingies on me.
I'll take the full action and do absolutely nothing, where she's just kind of like patting his clothes, opening his pockets, like no.
Roll me a DC 10 investigation check. So just make one, then you have to get a 10 or higher. Rummaging through his things, you very quickly pull it out, but you grab the vital star, you hold it over him, and you use it as an action. Nicolo recovers and regains 7 hit points.
Thank God.
Ooh.
She just fucking like throws herself on his chest, like idiota hija de la gran puta, no te puedes morir aquí, por favor.
Finally! All right, Fionula, you get hit by one of the boosts. No. You take 5 damage as it max damages. You got to make a strength save. Strength save coming at you. You fail.
Motherfucker!
You get nothing.
How could she be the storm if she gets hit?
It rockets towards you, strikes you on your right shoulder blade. As it digs into you, you feel it beginning to heat up. One finally hit, Emmanuel. As this happens, actually, real quick, legendary action on the part of Vetris. Looks over towards Fionula and the trouble that they're having over there. It takes its sickle and it hurls it up towards the ceiling and latches it onto a piece of metal, pulls it, and it seems to like retract and allows it to swing. It is going to swing and land over here. You see it like rush by and land by you, and it turns and aims the rifle towards you, and you can hear the sound of it powering up a shot inside of it.
Alrighty then. I'd like to. I will go over here. I will attack his claw coming at Emmanuel.
Mm-hmm.
I will attack. Oh shit. Well, I'll bonus action attack it again.
That hits.
I assume that hits. There you go.
And it's dead.
Okay, cool.
Do you want to
that's me.
style point heckin'?
Oh yeah.
You want to do that thing?
Sure.
Okay, fire it into a hand. Style point, fire it into a hand. Style point.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna yeet it at the Booster Claw 4 over there.
Okay. Okay.
Which one would I attack?
The Booster Claw 4, you had 2
I was
targeted.
still targeting. Okay.
But the one that you were aimed at, you got a crit against. So hit the critical
I'm gonna
button
hit
and
critical.
then roll the damage. You break that
Die,
one.
bitch.
You grab it, you
Yeah!
strike it as it's about to sputter and break in the air. You grab it out of the air and hurl it at Fionula, who turns at just the right moment. That it smashes into it on her back and like breaks it and sends it clattering to the ground. Gain 1 style point for killing 2 creatures in 1 round.
Alrighty then.
Can you launch claw again?
It's not.
I doubt it.
You act.
I'm out of ammo.
There's no range. If you have a style point, you can cause
Let's
the.
fucking do
You can
it.
chain these. That the intention of this is to be absurd. So it hits it. The other one sputters into the air. Then the booster misfires and sends it hurtling towards the other one. Go ahead and roll the other one.
Yeetus.
Oh my god!
It fires at it.
You
Break.
have another
It's it in.
style-
I have another one, and I will be using it to chain it.
And then
to
that.
yeet it at the fucking head of Vetris.
Do it.
I'm
Fucking dominoes.
Die! Why did I have advantage?
What? You and I got the
'Cause
same
fairy
fucking
fire.
roll.
Oh, right.
But
yeah.
it misses.
God damn it!
You you hit one, send it hurtling at it. It strikes that one off of Fionnuala. As it cracks in half, the booster sputters, fires at the other one in the air, strikes it. It causes it to contort and fires back at the Vetress, but the Vetress just, as it's going at it, just aims magistrate, fires it, and blows it out of the air before it hits it.
You see, I was on a roll. I was expecting it to, you know, be a hand.
You did so good.
That's a cool visual for a
thanks.
turn at the very least. The Vetress Angelo's going to go.
Cool.
It is going to attack Gino in front of it. Strikes you, dealing maximum damage. You take 10. It is then going to do the same thing a second time, striking you again with it. It hits again. It brings up the sword, strikes you. You're down. You're still on deck, Emmanuel, but these booster claws are gonna go. So Fionnuala, this one's gonna come at you. It's gonna use a boost, flies at you.
But of course.
Misses.
Bam!
This one's gonna get over here, and it is going to fly at Arden.
What? Why?
Leave him
What did I
alone.
do?
And it misses.
He's like 10 feet away from me anyway.
I'm gonna
Same.
Ray Frost. I'm gonna focus on the Angelo.
That is a hit. Ooh, good damage.
Oh,
too.
yeah.
You don't get a style point because it's only with weapon attacks, but you do deal 8 damage. And he does not seem to resist it down. Is that your turn?
I'm gonna go over here, and then I'm gonna go over here.
Okay. So here's the thing about this. Gino's turn, but legendary action from Ventress. He's going to make an attack, and it's going to be
Oh, no.
against Emmanuel.
Oh boy.
Never take me alive, you robotic son bitch.
He hit.
Take me alive.
As you try to rush away, he aims at you, fires. Oof. You are down, and the fairy fire expires. All right, his turn. Fionnuala, you're on deck. He is gonna go ahead and he's going to attack with his straight sword at you. Misses. First attack misses. He's going to then go for the second one, and that one hits. Brings it up, slashes at you. He does 1 damage, minimum damage. You take 3. He is then going to use Chain Lash as a bonus action against Marile. He had disadvantage, but he still hit. So Marile, you are going to take 1d4 plus 2 damage. You take maximum. You take 6.
Ugh.
And now you got to make a strength save, which you fail. You are knocked prone, and it digs into you. Latches onto like the back of your shoulder from behind you, pulls you to the ground, and yanks you over towards him violently.
I'm gonna get my booty all up on him, and I'm gonna stab him with my katana and put a style point into it. I don't know why I turned into Texan, but here we are.
Well, I am the storm that is approaching.
Well, I'm the store that is approaching, y'all.
Provoking.
Provoking. All right. Okay.
I don't know what's happening.
Y'all's
Listen.
cutely.
Listen, y'all.
That misses.
This!
Bring it up to him, you go to attack him. It brings its arm up and
This.
swings down at you. Its arm collides with the broadside of your katana and knocks you off balance. Marile, you're prone, so you're on the ground. It is your turn. Emmanuel, your death save is on deck. Nice. Okay, you get up, you back up, you put your hands out, and I imagine with you, it's a very you snap your fingers in that direction, and a wave of force just erupts towards him. It is going to push him back by 10 feet, so he is pushed back to there as he stumbles back as the wave of thunder. It causes basically the entire cavern to shake lightly.
Oh, well, Gino's stabilized, but Emmanuel's gonna fucking die.
Yes.
Manuel's dying, yeah.
So we're gonna heal the child.
So Emmanuel, it turns out you really were on deck.
Start climbing.
All right, it's 15 feet up, so I'd say that you could climb 15 feet and then arrive at the top.
And then I'm gonna keep on this Ray Frost train.
All right, go for it. That is a miss.
Oh.
Unfortunate.
Okay, I'm actually going to use my action to heal Gino.
Oh,
to,
using a
with,
Vital Star?
Vital Star.
Okay. He
Yeah.
recovers
Nice.
minimum hit points. So what's gonna happen now?
It's a bitch.
He's going to move back to there. And he is going to use what remains of his movement. He digs into the wall, and he's going to start climbing up to the next level.
All right, bitch.
Nicolo, you're
Let's
on deck.
Fucking go. Alright, so we're
Fucking
gonna-
go, mate.
I'm gonna get right below him. Hey, have you heard of a rifle? And I'm gonna shoot him.
You would have hit. No. 11 plus 6, you would have just missed.
Dex!
Is that your turn?
Yes.
So as you walk up, you scream, "Hey, have you heard of a rifle?" and fire at him. He's going to take a legendary action to fire his rifle at you.
Yes. Yes, he has, is the answer.
Yes, I am familiar with the concept. He nat one.
Alright, screw this guy. Let's fucking go.
Booster Claw's going to go. He is going to attack you because you've come within range.
Oh, yes.
He's actually going to back up so he's far enough away to use his advantage version of his attack. He, like, you see it look at you, it just floats back 5 feet, and then you see the boosters on the back begin to fire, and it launches at you.
It does the
Oh my god, it got a crit! You threatened its home! Fires at you, it deals 7 damage. You need to make a strength save. You fail it. It fires at you, it is latched onto you.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead, Gino.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna shoot hive number 6.
Alright, go
Next to
for it.
Randy.
You guys are finally like, fuck you guys, man!
Hiya.
That is a hit. Roll your damage. You gain 1 style point for destroying it and 1 for rolling a maximum damage result.
Hell yeah.
Alright, time. Alright.
Go
I'm
get him.
gonna get here. I'm gonna beat him up.
Alright, go ahead and roll an attack against him.
I will use a style point.
Gotcha.
And here's why I roll a 1.
Oh! Oh! Okay, first of all, roll damage against him.
Okay.
Gain 2 style points. Roll your damage against him, but he has the same critical susceptibility, so he will take double the critical damage. How do you want to do this?
Finally! Ugh. I see him trying to climb up it and climb his way out of here. Oh no, you've given us too much grief for that. I rush over and just, you know how my glaive has like sort of like a hook to it? I want to hook it like the bottom of like part of his armor and just fucking slam him down onto the ground as he just shatters into pieces.
Alright, you do so. You grab him as you reach up and you pierce into part of him with the glaive, with the critical hit actually piercing into his armor. He drops the rifle, which Fionnuala, it like kind of falls down and almost strikes you whenever he does, and then Arden hooks it, pulls it down, and smashes it into the ground as the energy in it fades away. As it hits the ground, the various pieces of armor just scatter, breaking into pieces as if it was brittle.
I want to use a style point to throw him at the booster claw.
So sure. Sure. Roll an attack against one of the booster claws.
I didn't expect that, actually.
Bringing out that fucking half demon strength,
Gain
man.
2 style points, roll damage against also remember to target things. Roll damage against the booster
target
claw.
it.
It doesn't say you did. Oh, well, yes it does. Fucking go ahead and roll damage against it. Would you like to
I'd like to use another style point.
Go ahead. It hits the other one, dealing 2 damage.
Cool. Oh, I killed 2 things. Do I get it?
Yes, you gain a style point. Also, you killed Vetris. You also gain a style point for that.
I can't gain any more.
He's too stylish!
This booster claw's going to go.
Arden just throws his hands. Are you not entertained?
You're not entertained.
Are you not entertained?
This booster claw's going to attack Emmanuel. Emmanuel, you take 6 damage.
Ow. Don't die.
Strength save. You fail. Yeah, it is now warming up. You feel like if it gets around to your turn, it's going to kill you. Fionnuala! Just FYI, the rifle is laying near you. When you see it, it has a categorically different look than the Angelo did. There's art of this. This is what the rifle looks like.
Oh, shit, man!
That's some fucking Destiny shit.
It's got a naked lady on it.
Oh,
Oh my god.
so fucking cool!
Don't
Oh
give
my
it to the child
god!
with the naked lady
That's
on
awesome.
So I'd like
To quickly hug Arden around the waist. You were so cool, that was amazing! Pick up the rifle.
And pick up Arden. Throw him.
just yeet Arden.
Go do more cool shit! Whee!
Listen, I'm strong enough, man.
I'm going to take out revolver, and I'm going to shoot booster claw high 5.
That's a hit.
Whee! Beep!
It is broken.
Yay!
So you will note, Fionnuala, you are free to look at the breakdown for the magistrate in the meantime if you want to. I will note that you will have to attune to it if you want to use any of its stuff, apart from its basic stuff. You can still use it as a rifle, but you do need to attune to devil arms to properly wield them. Heckin, that's you. Booster Claw 3, Nicolo, you're on deck. Booster Claw 3 is going to go, and it is going to go after Marile. It got a crit. Fires towards you. You've endangered their home. Marile's now unconscious. You are bound by it, so when your turn comes around, you will auto-fail one of your death saves when you take the 1 fire damage. Nicolo.
Oh,
So I was gonna fire at that, so now I'm gonna fire at that.
That is a hit.
no.
It is dead.
I'm gonna come down here.
All right, this is going to be a heckin' clutch turn. Marile, roll a death save.
Another 10.
Really middle of the road with you, but that's good. That's a success.
Yeah.
Booster Claw 5. It is going to attack, and it is going to hit Gino. Now you need to make a strength save, which I have a feeling you're going to succeed. I've doomed you by saying that. You succeed!
Yay!
It's like, why would you ever say that, Logan?
I don't
Why
know.
would you
I like to
say
try
that?
to control fate. All right, Booster Claw 4 is going to attack Emmanuel with advantage.
No!
No.
And miss.
Yes!
They have a very low to hit. But let's not celebrate just yet. So, Emmanuel, you fail a death save.
Instantly fail.
You succeed.
Yes!
Oh, thank fuck.
Oh, Gino.
Wait, one of us die so we can find out if
I'm
we
going.
respawn.
I'm going for the one that's on Emmanuel with my great sword.
Okay, go for it.
I'm gonna put a style point into this actually.
That's a hit.
Cool. I'm gonna use a style point to send it rocketing towards the other one near Emmanuel.
Do it.
Hell yeah.
Come on, you little fuck.
That misses.
Oh.
You're not Arden. Arden's the only one that seems to be able to do this.
Yeah.
Arden, you climb up. You are now there.
And I will... Which one should I? Should I go for a hive?
There'll be more hands if you don't shoot that high.
I know, I'm shooting the hive.
Do it.
Do it.
Using a style point.
Mm-hmm.
Bam.
Get him!
You shoot it. Go ahead and roll damage.
Does it die?
The hive does
Doesn't die.
not die. It has 1 hit point.
I suppose we're playing Nat19 then.
We're not, because we don't get anything on 19s.
Great,
come on.
Cody.
So, I started shooting, right?
So I started shooting.
I'm gonna go for a rifle shot at Booster Claw 6.
All right, do it.
Hiya!
That hits.
Thank God.
Roll damage. It is destroyed. Are you gonna do the
Not
style point thing?
Do it.
I don't have any.
All right.
No. Got excited
That's me
there.
then.
I know, me too.
Booster
man.
Claw 7 is going to attack Gino.
Okay, as long as it's not Emmanuel.
It hits,
Okay.
which means
Dino's got a hand on his
stop
face.
rolling crits for some reason. Why do you think you're getting crits? In any case, he was reduced to 0 hit points. He's down. He automatically fails the death save. Not death save. You automatically fail the strength save against the thing
Okay.
because you're unconscious.
So, shocking everyone, I'm gonna go into that space. Let's get these machete ready. We're gonna go into attack Booster Claw 4. Hiya.
That kills it.
I am then going to attack Booster Claw 5, because it's the only one not
Mhm.
attached to a thing.
That hits.
Oh.
That is 1 damage.
Fuck.
Is that you?
I bite the hand that's on Gino. Anyway. Yeah.
Marley, please roll a death save. You are stable.
Yay!
Okay,
Oh,
well,
thank God.
that's good.
This Booster Claw is going to go for an attack on Gino. Whew. How nice do I want to be? You are level 1. First of all, make sure you're losing no style points. I was going to be like, you lose them, but you lost them anyways. I'm going to have you fail 1 death save. And that is the extent of how much of a nice boy I'm going to be here.
Oh.
Because we're level 1.
We're still not out of the waters.
All right, yeah, so it's not like the danger's gone.
Emmanuel, roll a death save. If you get a 1, I can't do anything about it.
You better not get a 1. You fuck.
You Or succeed.
Okay.
Gino, you fail 1. It said you failed 2, but you don't. You fail 1. Gino, now you have to roll.
Oh!
We will return to that situation. I'm gonna be a nice boy. I'm probably gonna be a nice boy to you. I'm gonna be transparent with you. You're level 1. We will see what happens with you, but for now you have died. Arden.
Alrighty then. I'm gonna wander on. I'm gonna mosey on over to these fucking hives, because they need to go. And glaive.
That's a hit.
Die.
You stab it.
Hey! I will attack the other one.
That's a hit. You are the last person in the turn order, so if you don't break it, one more is gonna show up.
I know.
You broke it.
Oh, thank God.
Strike it, then you jump up and you dig the glaive into it again, and that one breaks, leaving 2 booster claws currently around.
I'll turn to Nicolo. Are you gonna take care of these fucking claws now?
On it.
Okay,
Because climbing is half
It's
my
your full
speed. Would
movement
I
to
be
climb up to the
able-
top.
Cool.
You'd be
I'm
able
gonna
to
use
get
my full
to-
movement.
Like there.
Okay, I can't medicine check from here, can I?
Medicine check, Emmanuel.
Yeah, that
You know,
You could do that to Emmanuel.
I would like to.
all right.
I mean, it means nothing. You do gain 2 style points, but beyond that, he's just stable.
Things are happening and he's stable, and that's what happens.
Are you sure he doesn't gain 1 hit point?
Hayden.
I'm sure.
There are numbers between 1 and 2.
No, they don't exist. I'm gonna run over and just.
I haven't seen him.
I haven't fucking seen him. I don't even know what numbers are. I can't count. I'm just gonna like run over and try to like start like patting down and trying to like hold like put pressure on his wounds and like try to stabilize.
And that's you?
Yeah, that's me.
Hiya!
That's a hit.
Oh.
Hiya!
Hey!
That kills it.
I get a style point, which I immediately use.
Yeetus! Deletus!
Hiya!
Roll damage.
Son of a bitch!
Oh, come on!
It has 1 hit point.
I use my movement to tackle it off the edge.
It explodes. It's gone.
Yay!
It had the whole party ahead of it. It died.
Holy shit.
Oh my god!
Gino, I'd like you to roll 1d6. You are going to lose that many maximum hit points. I would also like you to roll 1d6 again.
That's unfortunate.
This is gonna hurt. You're also going to lose 1 point of con. The last thing that I'm going to narrate happening today is as things settle down, as the fight comes to an end, as Fionnuala, as you take a second to examine the magistrate, as this happens, you guys hear a rumbling as you see the various eyes on the door begin opening. Once again, they go from flashing red to flashing yellow. They begin scanning Gino again. They all turn green, and the massive door that is in front of you, that you are mostly now conveniently in front of, begins sliding open, revealing a dark passage heading inside.